My mother, is a very cantankerous woman. I think I've probably had every caregiver that they have. She can be very cantankerous, very difficult to deal with. So they have always come through, always tried to work with me to find, the right fit, the right person for her. There's been a couple of occasions where, like one of their caregivers hasn't been able to make it for whatever personal reason. They had somebody else. They were able to, pick it up without dropping a step, really. They could provide me with somebody else and could come right in, always professional, knows, a lot of them, have experience and, seem to be well trained, and I kind of tell them just to ignore my mother sometimes when she gets cantankerous. Being at work all day, I would go into work very early in the morning, come home late afternoon, and so it was important for me that somebody was here that was trustworthy, because, my mom may be asleep for a couple of hours while somebody's here, in the morning. Well, they have the house to themselves, so being able to trust somebody to come into your home and take care of your loved one is absolutely, critical. You have to have that confidence. I mean, I did have other agencies, and they didn't seem to treat their people very well. It was really in my heart, even after my father passed away, it was because my kids were young, and I felt that would give her hope. And, being around family as opposed to being in a, facility. My grandmother was in a facility, and it was, many, many years ago, back in the 70s, it was just not a good thing. For me, the biggest thing was that even though my mother was difficult to deal with, they stuck with it, and they continue to provide me with good quality, caregivers. And they never say to me, no, we can't help you anymore, your mother is just too difficult, or, they always have come through. And there have been times where, we've had a break, and I always go back to them. For example, like my mother's sister came at one point and thought that she could take care of my mom, and, well, that didn't work. So, then went back to Advantage Plus to look for caregivers to, work with my mom.